Good afternoon and welcome to Buzz News. I'm Naomi Kativu. Your headlines for today. A new food bank has opened in Boscombe today. A homeless charity is working to protect people from cold nights. A local GB trampolinist makes a push for the European Championships. And the Cherries women face FA Cup magic.
Lovely first three skills
Boscombe
there.
welcomes a new food bank in the Garden Rooms Cafe. They are welcoming donations and volunteers. Isabel Taylor reports. The manager of a local Bournemouth pub has announced that it will open its doors to the public with a brand new name. The pub will reopen 3 weeks after its February closure. Tyler Tamu reports.
Over the last 3 to 5 years, late night hasn't been great. Not just in Bournemouth, across the country, it hasn't been great. It's been suffering.
After 20 years of being open from 2006, this pub is facing a rebrand. This will be missed dearly by the Bournemouth local community that are regulars at this pub. This pub will be serving their last pint on February 10th for a 3-week closure to be renamed The Sun.
60 million's been great before COVID, since 2007 to up to COVID, but after that it's been suffering, it's been declining, and we sort of acted based on those sort of figures to change. Look-wise, it's going to be very different. Obviously, as you come in right now to 60, it gives you a little bit of late night venue vibe. Bournemouth needs a lot of new venues and stuff just to make it look fresh again, and I think we're sort of lucky to have such a big company behind us.
Due to the closure of the pub, locals are split on how they feel about this. Annie Hawke comments on this, and that although there's a rebrand being made, he states that the values and memories of 60 million postcards will never disappear. Although Mitchell and Butlers has decided that a more traditional seeming pub would ultimately be more successful.
If that was another individual owner or independent owner, they would struggle to survive with the rent and the cost of how economy is going at the moment. So yeah, we're lucky to have such a big brand behind us, who's obviously investing almost 600k into the building to sort of do a refurbish and rebrand the whole pub.
Boscombe welcomes a new food bank in the Garden Rooms Cafe. They are also taking donations and volunteers. Isabel Taylor reports.
Bournemouth Food Bank launched the Winter Warmers initiative this afternoon. Located inside the Garden Rooms Cafe in Boscombe, hot meals, a warm space, community connection and activities such as puzzles are available to those who need it every Wednesday. Volunteer coordinator Zoe Trim tells us the importance of the new programme.
For us, it's the community connection part of it and keeping people together is really important. It's very cold out at the moment. We all know it's having that safe, warm space that they can come and just have a warm meal if that's what they want, but actually meet new people, potentially people they would never come across in normal walks of life. Get involved in the activities if need be, but also find out information about what else we do, or us be able to signpost them for help if there's anything that they need.
In addition to this, the food bank are also providing care packages and food parcels every day. Those using the food bank are given vouchers to the Garden Rooms Cafe to get warm meals and hot drinks during the winter coldness. The food bank is run completely by volunteers.
In the warehouse, we have about 70 volunteers a week that do a shift a week. We have 3 to 4 volunteers in our hub every day. Obviously today the Winter Warmers has 3 volunteers, with me just kind of overseeing it. The cafe has a volunteer every day. We have 3 office admin every day.
Although it looks like there is more than enough donations, they have had their lowest number of donations this winter time. Volunteers have brought extra food to keep up with demand and are always looking for some extra help.
We're always looking for help. If someone's got some time to give or a spare pound here and there, or can pick up an item. We have a lot of supermarkets that have like trolleys or baskets at the end. If you can pick up one extra item on your shop a week, like those, it might seem really small, but actually if everyone did something small, it would make a huge difference.
I'm Isabel Taylor, this is Buzz News.
A Boscombe-based charity is working to help homeless people throughout the winter. They're providing safe places for people to sleep in order to keep warm. Oliver Kent reports.
The charity We Are Humans are doing their part this January to help the homeless during the harsh weather. Founder and CEO Andrew Talbot created the Boscombe-based group over 20 years ago after his own struggles with homelessness.
So, while sat in my tent one night after a hailstorm breach, absolutely soaking wet through on the Isle of Wight, I decided that I was going to create change for myself and change for other people in my situation.
The charity provide hot food and drink for people in the local area, serving hundreds of people each week. With a 7.8% rise in homelessness in 2025, according to gov.uk, the charity are finding ways to aid those in these positions. As well as providing food and drink, the charity provides sleeping pods, 2 metre long, insulated triangular tents, which can be popped up in less than 30 seconds. Retailing for around £30, We Are Humans buy and distribute the pods themselves. Members of the community like James Murray benefit from the charity, stressing how important their support and resources are over the winter.
It's the difference between life and death, especially with the local weather here. It's like the seafront, you know what I mean? Like, here, it's all the difference. Like it's the difference between everything and nothing.
After buying the property the charity is operated in for the last 3 years this Christmas, Andrew and We Are Humans will continue to combat homelessness this winter and in the future. Oliver Kent, Buzz News, Boscombe.
Buzz News went down to Boscombe Beach earlier today to meet with members of the Bournemouth Sea Dippers. They were happy to share what the group means to them and how it improves on their mental health.
Yeah, I've started sea dipping about 1.5 years ago. Cold is good because I've got multiple sclerosis, and cold seems to be quite good for the signals to go up and down the body. So I generally find that I'm a little bit better after getting cold. But it's not just that, it's also the community and the help.
This group, I feel, has really held me through one of the most difficult times of my life.
I think the sea is a very healing property for this and this.
A local men's mental health group meet up to exercise and improve their mental well-being for the January Blues. January is an important month regarding the effects of mental health. It is the highest hospital admission rate relating to suicide and self-harm in the year and is a month known as its January Blues. Wimborne Redefined is a group for men who have struggled with their mental health. They now have over 80 members in the group and aim to better mental well-being and build community. They meet up at 6 a.m. every Wednesday to play sports and exercise. They even include a 70-second plank to signify the 75% of suicides in men. Redefined attempt to battle the mental health stigma and create a safe space for men to speak out. Now, let's hand over to our sports correspondent, Tom Priestley.
Thank you, Naomi. Here is your sports news for today. Rising trampolining star Jared Smith sets his sights on the upcoming European Championships. Paige Buffum reports.
GB trampoliner Jared Smith has begun his official training for the European Championship trials that select the top athletes from each trampolining club up and down the country. The selection process is quite long, meaning the championships themselves don't begin till the start of spring. Jared has been competing in trampolining since he was 7 years old and made his GB squad debut last year. I sat down with him earlier today to talk about how he feels about the upcoming trials and the competition season starting.
I'm quite focused going into the trials. I've been working really hard, so I'm quite excited to put out what I've been training. And also there's obviously nerves, but the kind of nerves that are going to push me to do better, not the ones that are going to hold me back. I'm very excited going into this. It would be such a great opportunity for me to fly out there at Europeans, my first European, so I'm really looking forward to it. I train 6 days a week. Two of those days I'm doing strength and conditioning in the gym, but the rest of the 4 I'm on trampoline itself. On the trampoline it's very much controlled, so I go in there, do my routines, obviously warm up and stuff like that, but I have to be careful of like intensity load. I don't want to overdo it, but I don't want to underdo it. I need the optimal amount of training and balance.
It may be Jared's first trials for the European Championships, but he's definitely not new to these big stages.
Last year in 2025, I had the amazing opportunity to go out to Worlds, and it was my first ever World Age Championships, and I managed to finish 14th in the world. And I'm looking to hopefully replicate that in upcoming European trials and the upcoming European Championships upon selection.
Jared aims to qualify for Europeans and at least match his Worlds result, and maybe even go for the medal spots. Paige Buffum, Buzz News, Bournemouth.
We look ahead to this weekend's Women FA Cup action, where the Cherries are looking to cause an upset. Jack Hillman reports.
The magic of the FA Cup is one of the biggest football cliches. However, it still rings true to this day. The AFC Bournemouth women hope they produce this magic when they host WSL leaders Manchester City on Sunday in the Adobe Women's FA Cup. Head coach Helen Blizzard believes her side can follow in the footsteps of other clubs at their level who have produced the same upsets.
Everyone says the magic of the FA Cup, and it's anyone's. I think you've seen the teams that are still in it. You've had some Tier 4 teams beat some Tier 3 so far, and the nature of the beast of the FA Cup, it is anyone's. You've seen in the men's rounds recently, Macclesfield doing what they've done, so who's to say that we can't turn it around and pull off the magic of the FA Cup on Sunday.
The players were surprised by the trophy on Tuesday afternoon. They hope to bring a surprise themselves on Sunday as they go into the game as underdogs.
And whether you're in the women's game or the men's game, you hear about the historic wins that can happen. And yeah, I mean, it's going to be a great weekend. I mean, it's a great game for women's football, not only our game, but there's so many other really, really great games in the FA Cup this weekend. So hopefully there'll be a few upsets.
There are two divisions between the teams on Sunday, with the Cherries looking to topple their giant opponents and create history. Jack Hillman, Buzz News, Bournemouth.
Now over to rugby. After 11 long months, Bournemouth Lions are welcoming back their star player Grant Hancock. Ben Tonald has more.
Bournemouth Lions star Grant Hancock made his return to the bench against Twickenham Rugby on Saturday after over 11 months out with a serious ACL injury. This week he returned to full training in hopes of making his first start of the season. Hancock's had a full ACL tear in February 2025. Now after 8 challenging months, with help from his physio, he finally feels ready to make a full return.
Now 8 months and 3 weeks post-surgery, back to playing. It's been a long old journey, but yeah, with sort of support from the physio here, Andy Curtis, who from Life Health, our head of medical here. Without his support, this wouldn't have been possible to be back at this sort of stage. But yeah, I found it's been a huge challenge mentally and physically. But yeah, we're here and moving forward.
Popular back was an ever-present at the club whilst out injured, always supporting his teammates, and his return to the starting 15 will be a massive boost to his own personal recovery and also to the Lions' title push. Hancock's admitted that overcoming his injury and returning to rugby carried deep personal significance and described his excitement over his return.
Hugely excited. I described it on Friday to some friends. It was almost that feeling of a kid at Christmas, to be fair. 11 months without competitive rugby, 11 months without really being in amongst it with the boys. So yeah, it was a real sense of excitement, but equally there was an element of nerves naturally. Not having taken sort of that unannounced contact in a competitive fixture for best part of 11 months. So yeah, it was something that I was relishing, and sort of come the end of the game on Saturday, it was to get through it unscathed was a big moment.
Bournemouth Lions returned to action on Saturday, travelling away to Old Tiffinians. Ben Tonnox reports, Buzz News, Bournemouth.
Before the Women's World Cup, a grant was given to local rugby clubs to help support the women's game. Cameron Dennison reports.
In the run-up to the Women's World Cup, the government partnered up with the RFU to issue a grant to local clubs with women's teams to help fund the development of the sport. I visited Ellingham and Ringwood RFC to find out what effect this had on local teams.
I mean, my role now as chairman and first team manager, I think the project that we've done through Impact 25 has really helped the club. As I said to you earlier, I think I've noticed that we are having more female players coming in. The women's team are doing really well at all ages. Also, the club is more welcoming now. It's not like how should we say, like an old man's social club anymore. And I think without that funding from Impact 25 from the RFU, we wouldn't have been able to manage that financially because we live on a shoestring really.
Ringwood is one of many teams to have been issued the grant, with over 500 clubs, schools and universities being helped, and it has seen a 35% increase in young female players. The grant has not only brought stability to the sport we love, but has started a new chapter too. Cameron Dennison, Buzz News, Ringwood.
That's all for latest news. We'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye for now.